What's up, everyone? It's Mike Fitz, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
Okay, today we have for you not just another band out of Boston. They come out of the gutter swinging with rock and roll swagger. Bad Marriage is made up of Jonny P on vocals, Mike Fitz on lead and rhythm guitar, Tommy Skeoch on lead and rhythm guitar, Todd Boisvert on bass, and Michael Delaney on drums. They've released 2 full-length albums, as well as an EP titled Artificial Mind that was produced by Brian Weed of Tesla. Here to chat with us about the band's upcoming release, Match Made in Hell, let's welcome Mike Fitz. Mike, man, how are you?
Hey, bud. Good to see you. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Or should I call you the Penny Man? Is that your new moniker? I wasn't sure.
That's creeping. Slowly creeping up to being my my official name, the Penny Man. No, I mean, whatever's clever for you, man.
Yeah, well, I know you're kind of like a history buff, American history. We chat about that a little bit, so.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that, kind of what got you involved in that, or is it kind of just a passing phase or what?
No, it's definitely a passion of mine to unearth treasure, right? It sounds funny, like Indiana Jones, but I'm an avid metal detectorist. So, I live in New England, so New England is very rich with early American history. You have obviously the Revolutionary War was first started here with Lexington and Concord, and this is geeky nerd history stuff, but the Battle of Bunker Hill, the Boston Tea Party, but even before that, the Pilgrims, right? They first landed here in Massachusetts, Plymouth, Mass. So it was really the start of America. So there's a lot of history here. And there's a lot of still rural spots in the woods around me that is undeveloped. And, with some careful research and with a little bit of luck, you can, and a lot of, like I said earlier, passion, you can uncover a lot of cool treasures. I found a lot of, really rare coins and just historical artifacts from, I guess, the colonial period, anywhere from the 16s, 17s, and then after the Revolution, post-colonial, like Civil War era. So it's just really fun. I'm not like a crazy fact guy. I don't know every little thing about the history, but I just enjoy it, and I love being out there. So when I'm not on stage or in the studio with Bad Marriage, in the band, that's what I kind of like to do. It's kind of my other happy place, is to be out in the woods, kind of getting some fresh air, and then hopefully digging some history.
Yeah, definitely the birthplace of, like you're saying, so much American history there. And I'm sure the city there is constantly filled with visitors checking out all this stuff, right?
Totally, that too. I mean, obviously, I lived in Boston for, I'd say, about 11 years, and the city is beautiful if you haven't been anyway. Yeah, it's got a ton of history, and just the outlay of the city, the overlay, the structure, the building, the architecture. So yeah, that's a whole different subject, but it's really beautiful.
Excellent. Yeah, and I just spoke with Ron Keel the other day, and he's saying he's definitely blown away you, and you guys are always delivering the goods then here for this new album. He's really excited about that. What was the most challenging task for you, kind of getting this rolling?
With RFK and Ron's label. Well, we were never. It's funny because we were never really seeking out a record label. So, like you mentioned at the beginning of this video, we have 2 full-length CDs out. We have an EP out. Those are all put out by us. We weren't, we never had any record label behind us or any other, management or anything like that. So this Ron Keel and RFK, his record label's a first for us. But we're excited about it. he's been a breath of fresh air so far to us. Like I mentioned to you earlier off the camera, Ron is very, very positive. He's got a lot of energy, but a lot of positive energy, which I think is very important. And he's excited, so that makes us more excited. And you want people on your team like that. And he's not knocking down my door for deadlines. He knows that we're a professional band, so he kind of lets us do our thing. He's not breathing down our neck or backs about what's this, where's the single, or what, do you have the good enough songs? He's basically just letting us do our thing because he has confidence in what we do. And that's a big thing for us too. So we're excited. They're excited. Aaron is his partner over there. He's awesome too. He's just as cool as Ron. So they have a good thing going on over there, and hopefully we can both work together and make some stuff happen.
Yeah, definitely. Always great speaking to him, and so much cool stuff going on with RFK Media. When you guys hooked up with that, I'm like, this is a great match, definitely. And like you're saying, he's definitely got the positivity to keep things moving forward, and it's always great. So for the new album, I'm going to have to kind of try to pin you down a little bit. The new album, Match Made in Hell, we are looking for this probably in summer. Do you have a date yet for the drop, or when it's going to come? I'm thinking probably the title track's going to be the first single.
Possibly. We are actually kicking around a few. I mean, then that's the cool thing about when you're excited about an album, and we think all the stuff is good. Me, since I produce the record and mix the record, and I'm the one who probably should hate it all, right? Because I've been listening to the songs, hundreds and hundreds of times. But to be honest, I'm really still excited about it. I think people are going to really like the songs, and we believe that any one of them can be a track that can go to radio. That can get some serious play and move the needle for us. So I'm not really sure what's going to be the single, but I think we're going to have at least two or three singles off the record. So I can't give you a definitive answer if Match Made in Hell will be the first one, but it's definitely in the running. But it did take a while, and that's one thing I'm anxious to get this record done. But there were a few, I guess there are hiccups. One being the label, right? It's a little bit of a different process than putting a record out on your own.
Right.
There's a little more details and stuff that go along with that process. We had a lot of the record done before Tommy joined the band, right? And so it's been a while. He's been in the band about 2 years now. When he joined, the songs that we did have, almost done, he had to go into, and we wanted him to make his mark on the song.
So you got to kind of go back and have him do some of the leads and stuff on here and solos, because he said he was super excited about that. We
all were, because it definitely brought a new element, a breath of fresh air to these songs, and they went. Sometimes they went in a different direction, and we were all like, "Wow, this is cool," because you don't know until someone else steps in from the outside of your normal circle and spices things up a little bit. So that was exciting, and then we wrote and added a few songs with Tommy. So it delayed it. The process a little bit, but we all believe it was for the better.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm assuming now you're just going through the tracks and seeing what the singles are going to be. I'm sure you're probably kind of tallying that within the band and tallying that with RFK,
right?
Just to kind of see what they have. I know I've spoken to some previous bands, and they kind of run it just kind of first by their team of their people, their peers and their friends, and they look through the tracks, and then they kind of have them grade it, and then have another system grade it. I'm sure you're probably doing something similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even as regimented as that. It's like we have enough people in our camp, or like our friends and close, people that already have kind of told us which ones that, just because people come over here, they hear, obviously I'm going to play people, hey man, check out some songs on the new record, or
Right.
so you can kind of get people's vibe from that. But again, as long as we're all digging the record, I don't think we can lose with what songs we put out, in what order. I think people are going to dig it.
Yeah. And I assume you're getting together and getting videos ready to do as well for these releases, right?
Yeah, and we've been, as you know, I don't know if we're going to mention it, but right now, we only have a couple days left. We just started our pre-order package.
Yeah, I saw that on there. I was gonna ask you about that. And this sounds amazing. The Match Made in Hell pre-order package here, the full ride. I think what you guys are calling it, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about this. Is a really cool package. What you got going on?
Yeah, so we always do pre-orders because our fans are the best, and it really helps a band out, or because when you're able to have a dedicated fan base, no matter how small or big or anything, it helps you drum up the funds and the finances, and it takes a big load off your back with being able to, okay, well, we have X amount to put towards this or put towards that. So you mentioned, doing some music videos. So I believe the money that we raise with these pre-order packages is going to help with stuff like that. Paying for really good music videos. So again, we just started. We wanted to offer something really cool for the fans. So what we're doing is, if you buy this pre-order package, you get our vinyl. So we're releasing a vinyl and a CD at the same time, I think, which is really cool. In the past, we would drop our CD, right, along with our digital album, of course. But and then months later, we would get the funds. We'd have to raise more funds to be able to put out a vinyl. In this case, we're dropping them both at the same time. And the cool thing about this pre-order package is, along with a bunch of swag and cool stuff you'll get within the package, you also, as a special thanks to helping us get a pre-order thing going, is you will get your name inside a vinyl insert of every vinyl ever printed. Your name will be forever stamped in Bad Marriage history, and it's also going to be inside the CD panel. So it's pretty cool. A lot of our super fans really enjoy that. We did that for our first album release, Bad Marriage, the self-titled. So if you open that Bad Marriage CD, we have a special thanks panel where everyone gets their name officially in it. So people get excited about that, and we love providing stuff like that to kind of give back to the fans because they're helping us out.
So so when you do this, your name's not just on the CD you order; it's on everybody's vinyl. Everybody sees it.
Exactly. Yeah. So whoever buys it, for however many times we print the CD or the vinyl, the names that help us pre-order will be in there.
That's very, very cool. I don't think anybody has done that. I've never come across anyone doing that before. That sounds amazing.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool, and it definitely works because it gives back to our fans who help us, and they get really excited about that stuff, and being able to show whoever, hey, look, I'm in this, I love this, one of my favorite bands, and my name's in the album. It's just a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. So badmarriagemusic.com, you can check that out. The full ride super fan package includes the vinyl and the CD. And like Mike was saying, you get your name printed inside the CD jacket and the vinyl insert as a personal signed thank you from the band, a signed band photo, a custom Bad Marriage vinyl record canvas tote bag, and some bonus mystery goodies and swag that you guys are throwing in.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I think so. Are you airing this on Saturday? Because I believe the pre-order is going to end Sunday at midnight. So maybe we'll sneak in a few more orders if someone sees this by then. But it'll be close. But yeah, I think we're shutting it down. So the earlier we shut it down, we got to get all of the names into print. And then we can get a album release date. So we really can't do anything until these pre-orders are over. So we're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this will air Saturday on Rock Rage Radio. So folks, get out there to badmarriagemusic.com. check out the full ride superfan package if you want your name included in the CD and the vinyl insert. So super cool, man. That's
Sweet.
such a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we're excited.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the acts you've played with over the years, man. It's just a who's who of rock and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alice Cooper, Stephen Pearcy, LA Guns, Jeff Tate, Tom Kiefer, just to name a few of these guys that you guys have gone out with, man. You got to have some really cool memories from some of these shows, man. Is there something maybe you could share with us, something that maybe comes to mind from any of these dates, or is it kind of just running together?
Tesla was our biggest, bond that we've built with a band. Like, for example, we just got our last tour was with Adrian Vandenberg. We did 12 shows with Vandenberg. They were awesome. Adrian was awesome. Their whole camp was cool. We've done a ton of we've seen the country twice with Enough's Enough. We love those guys. We did another tour with Glenn Hughes. I mean, so, he's a rock and roll Hall of Famer, Deep Purple, their whole camp was amazing. But I think the Tesla one was special because, that's where I formed my relationship with Brian Wheat. We became buddies. Their whole camp was really cool to us. So it helped open the doors for a lot of stuff for us. But as far as one story, man, it's hard to pinpoint and nail down that stuff because there's just so many, and it's just kind of, it's kind of hard to pinpoint something. I would have to, if something comes to me specifically, I'll let you know. But it's just you kind of pinch yourself. There's some nights where I'd be, on top of a cruise ship watching Tesla or, Alice Cooper or whoever, we've played with. And that right there, it's like, wow, you never thought I'd be playing on the top of a cruise ship in Mexico, Bad Marriage. I look around at our guys and, there's a lot of proud moments.
Right. I think you were very surprised when you got on the Monsters of Rock cruises and you started doing that. And it was just a great thing for you guys to get on there. And obviously, that led to RFK and
totally
moving forward and such a great break for you. And then obviously having, Brian Wheat, like you had said at one point before when we talked to you a while back, kind of take you under his wing and help you out and do some producing in that because you have that relationship with the guys in Tesla. That's just outstanding. Very cool.
Totally, yeah. The Monsters of Rock cruises, we did 2 of those, and obviously the first one we were just like blown away. Wow, like half of you was like, do we deserve to be here? Because we were an up and coming band. We didn't have Tommy Skeoch in the band. We were just 5 dudes from Massachusetts, and so we get on the Monsters of Rock cruise. But we know we deserve to be there, but there's always that side of you that's like, there's all these famous bands that are on. There's not that many new bands, right? Up and coming bands. So we were very fortunate to get a shot because that you're being put in front of a crowd, an awesome crowd of people, but they expect you to be great, and we like that sort of pressure and competition and stuff. So it was fun. And then we got asked back to do a second cruise. So that's when you're doing something right. We just announced that we're doing next summer's Monsters on the Mountain Festival in Gatlinburg, and that's the third one. Now, the Monsters on the Mountain Festival is the same people that put on the cruise. Amazing event. That will be our third one of those. So we're becoming like family with that Monsters crew. The employees that work for all of that, the fans. It's one big family. So we're excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, very, very cool. And you got some other dates, and you're going to be in my neck of the woods coming up pretty soon in December. You'll be coming to Rochester and Buffalo. Tell us the listeners a little bit about that.
Yeah, that little place we started playing. We opened for Tricks while we were support, direct support for Trickster a couple of years ago in your neck of the woods, Webster, New York, or Rochester, called Bunsey's Bandstand, and we had never heard of it before. We got there, and it's one of those places we just fell in love with. You just know by the owners, the bar owner Dave. Great dude. He's become a great friend of mine. You know, the bar staff, you just know when you really like a place. So, you know, I had pulled him aside after that show with Trickster, and I said, look, love your place. I think we could really build a relationship here. Like, you know, if you'll have us back, you know, we can slowly build the fans and get a good thing going, because Bad Marriage really likes it. So we've been back a few times since then, and we get excited about going back each time. So December 4th, we're there. Then we have a day off, and then December 6th, we're doing a new place. We're trying a new place out in Buffalo. I think it's called Rockin' Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I've never been there. We have two of our friends and really big fans of Bad Marriage suggested it, and are kind of helping us put that show on. And it's their kind of hangout, you know, where they hang out often, and so they're really pushing it. So hopefully we feel the same way there as we do Buncie's in Webster, New York, and we can go back there too. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys at Rockin' Buffalo Saloon are going to take good care of you.
Cool.
Definitely, man. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy that. It's a very cool venue. It's very intimate. So so you guys will be able to be front and center, and, you know, right there with the fans, and they'll be able to, you know, see what's happening here. And I think that's what you guys really dig. Just having that more more intimate type of setting.
Totally, and I believe that's how that's how you build your fans. You know, when you're right there, you're hanging out, you know, and then you get on the stage and you rip it up, and then you get off stage and you hang out, you know, and I really think that goes a long way, and we've built a lot of lifelong fans just being around and hanging out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so December 4th at Buncie's in Webster, New York. And then you can check Bad Marriage out. Also, they'll be at the Rockin' Buffalo on Saturday, December 6th. Very cool. And folks, you can check out all the dates and info online at badmarriagemusic.com. You can see where these guys are going. You know, check them out on the Monsters of Rock cruise, Monsters of Mountain. Those are always super amazing events for sure.
Right.
All right. So that wraps up this episode of Talk About Rock. Thanks to my guest today, Mike Fitz. And to our listeners, we hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Mike, again, Thank you so much, man.
You as well, buddy.